Great. So as we said today, we're going to be talking about password managers, which are a great cybersecurity tool to not only keep you safer when online, but also make your life easier when using your computer. So firstly, we're going to quickly go over what is a password manager for those who don't know. So a password manager is an application that can generate, store, retrieve, and manage all of your passwords for different websites. And so what it does is that it stores all of your passwords in a large database, which gives you extra protection against hackers because this database is highly encrypted. And so it also, on top of securing your password, ensures that you don't forget or lose them because it'll automatically usually fill them in for you. And so why would you need one of these password managers? Well, they're highly recommended by most cybersecurity experts because they offer both convenience, as I mentioned, but also security when it comes to your login details, most importantly, your password. And this is usually because, and I used to do this and it became a problem, people often use repetitive passwords on different websites, which means a lot of people will put the same password basically everywhere. And this puts your account at risk because if someone finds out your password, not only do they get access to one website, they get access to every website you've signed into, right? Because it's all the same password. And so obviously that's not very safe and it puts your data and your online information at risk. A password manager, what it does is that it'll generate different passwords for every website that are usually a random list of like random letters and numbers. So it's much harder to guess than like someone's name or a typical human-made password. And most importantly, every website you use will have its own different password, which makes it a lot harder for your accounts to get hacked into because they can't just use one password for all of them if someone tries to access your data. And then on top of that, because these passwords are very complicated and completely random, they're hard to remember, but the password manager remembers them for you and then will automatically input them without needing you to remember a bunch of very complicated passwords. And so, well, are these password managers safe? Well, the overwhelming amount of modern password managers use highly encrypted security, which makes it very hard for hackers to breach the database of these password managers and access your list of passwords, which makes it a lot safer than just noting them down somewhere. And on top of that, a lot of these password managers will also use two-factor authentication, which is, for example, your bank might do this, but it's when you try to sign in, it'll, for example, send you a text message or a call so that not only do you need your password to access the manager, you also need to have access to your own device, which makes it a lot harder for people to access that because they won't have your phone. On top of that, they'll also use things like master passwords and generated passwords, which further augment that security. And so overall, using a password manager, because of all these additional safety features, is considerably safer than just using one password that you remember for everything. And so, well, when it comes to the cost of these password managers, it depends. Some of them are free, but then often the free versions will either limit the amount of devices you can access your passwords from, or how many different websites you can store passwords for. And then other services will usually be on a subscription basis, but that's not all of them. So, for example, we're going to go through a couple commonly used password managers, at least the most reputed ones. So, for example, Dashlane is a pretty well-known one. With the free version, gives you up to 50 passwords, which is already quite a bit, but limits you to only one device, meaning that you wouldn't be able to share your safe passwords, for example, from your computer to your iPhone. It does include a 30-day free trial of premium, but obviously that's limited. And the premium version is $60 about, and that gives you unlimited access to passwords and devices, as well as a VPN, which is another useful security tool, especially when on a public Wi-Fi network, like in a cafe or an airport or something like that, where other people you don't know are connected to the same network at you. And they also offer extra protections that are part of that premium membership. TrueKey is a similar service where, again, the free version is pretty limited with only a 15 password limit, but unlimited devices. whereas the premium version, which is about $20 a year, gives you unlimited passwords and unlimited devices. And to get TrueKey, it's actually a part of a larger antivirus application called McAfee, which also offers extra antivirus protection. Kaspersky, I think I'm pronouncing that right, is another commonly used service. Again, similar theme where the free version has some limitations, and then the premium gives you unlimited access to the service. And then again, similar thing here with a free version that this time has unlimited passwords, but limits you to one device. And again, the premium will give you an unlimited access, as well as syncing your passwords across all of your different devices. And then again, LastPass is another commonly known example where it'll have a free plan that actually allows you to have multiple devices, a password generator, which will give you random passwords, and unlimited password use for that one user. So the free plan on this one is very strong. And there is also a premium with a few extra perks, as well as a family plan, which will give you the same as premium, but with access for 6 different people. And then 1Password doesn't have a free version, but it does have a yearly and family individual plan, which offers similar services as the previously mentioned programs. And so overall, if you are trying to decide between a paid and a free password manager program, well, the most important thing to consider is what do you need out of a password manager? So do you have a lot of different passwords for a lot of different websites to keep, or just a few? Do you use multiple devices that you want to be able to share your passwords between, or just one device? Do you want extra computer protections like an antivirus? And considering, of course, if it's actually worth the money to get the paid premium version. So in terms of the simplest password managers to use, we would recommend LastPass and 1Password, just for their simplicity and their user interface. And then for the password manager with the most features, we would recommend Dashlane, but it is a little bit more expensive than others. And then TrueKey and Kaspersky are bundled with antivirus software if that's something you're interested in to help make your computer safer against other attacks. And in terms of free password managers, the best one is LastPass because of its just wide range of features for the free version. And so for installing these password managers, it's not too complicated. Usually, if you just go in your search engine, Google, etc., you can just look up the name, and then you should be able to quickly find the website. If you just look up the name of the password manager and download, and then it'll be in the first couple of results on Google will send you straight to the official website of the password manager. The main thing to be careful of, as we mentioned here, to look for the HTTPS in the link, which signals that it's a secure website, and that the URL is spelled correctly to avoid going to a fake, dangerous version of an official website. But usually the first couple of results will be the official one, but it's important to always be careful. And then once you go to the website, they'll give you the option to download the correct software for your specific device. And then if you're on a mobile device, sorry, 1 second, or a tablet, then in your app store, whether it's Android or iPhone, you can just search for the name of the app on the App Store, and then it'll automatically figure everything out for you and install the app. And then we'll have a video, but I think we're going to play it in the breakout rooms. And yeah, I think that's about it. So thank you for listening. If you have any other questions and you'd like to go over this lesson in a one-on-one call, please go to our website or call to register for a one-on-one phone session. And yeah, thank you for listening.